There's no way we finna go through this episode.
Bro.
Alright, bro. You know what? It's all good, man.
Let me make it, bro.
You got it, bro. That bro wanna hold this man.
Alright, so you gonna do the honors or you want me to do it?
Alright, man. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy 365 Vince with the GrindHouse podcast.
And it's your boy Humble Hampton.
Alrighty, y'all.
Man, listen.
What?
You can't kill me right now for holding this mic like this, man.
This is insane, y'all. We gonna film the episode with y'all. We just So today, y'all, we're gonna talk with y'all a little bit about leadership, man, and you know what that looks like, and leadership in different forms. So we got a lot of different titles in the topic, but leadership is the overall piece of the topic. And so, you know, if y'all know me, you know, my biggest movie, of course, is always going to be Paid in Full. So, you know, like my boys say, half these niggas want to be the man just cause. So, You know, we're going to get into it, man, and we're going to talk about what leadership looks like, you know, proven leaders, entitled leaders. You know, did you earn your stripes in the game with it or not? You know, and kind of what that encompasses. And then we're gonna kind of get into one of my deeper topics later in the segment. So y'all make sure y'all tune in all the way through, especially my ladies. We're gonna bridge y'all into this to the podcast. So
yeah, finally, huh?
Hey, we gotta get them in.
Yeah, they've been asking.
Hey, I hope they don't try to jump me.
You know how it go, bro.
Hey, man.
You know how it goes.
Hey, man. You know, as soon as you mention the word woman, they're gonna be like, he better not say nothing about us.
Hey, man, we actually gonna say some stuff that might benefit y'all.
Hey, we gonna put y'all on game for
Trying
real.
to.
Hey, I'm gonna try to tell y'all right now. See, hey, look, y'all be saying y'all admire my relationship with my wife. I'm finna tell y'all how to get it. Look, I'm gonna give them the game. I'm gonna tell them exactly what they gotta do. Now, if they don't want to listen,
I was finna say, you know, they gotta want to listen first.
Hey, if y'all don't want to listen to me, now that's on y'all. But I'm gonna just tell y'all, look, if you want your dude to do whatever you want him to do, I'm finna teach y'all the art of the submissive woman. Watch and learn. Alrighty, man. So look, man, when it comes to leadership, man, I think it's like kind of one of the biggest pieces I look at, like overall, is like that's like a big topic in society right now. Like, you have ladies now who are coming up, you know, they're making money, so now they're like, oh well, I want to be the leader, or I want to call the shot. Yeah. And then you have the dude who's, you know, you have the fellas who like, nah, I'm the man, so I'm the head. And so I look at it like, you know, you have entitled, you know, you got the entitled role of, you know, you a dude, so, you know, you feel as though you entitled to be the leader. And then you got a woman who's like, well, I'm in my bag too now, so, okay, boom.
We both can be leaders.
Right? Yeah. And so, like, you know, you got to figure out how to map that out, right? But I'll say this, one thing that I always tell people is this, it ain't always the person with the money, right? Money don't make you no leader. I tell people this every day.
I like that.
You know, money don't make you the leader. I learned this, you know, early in life, right? Like when I was growing up, you know, my dad didn't make as much money as my mom, right? Like, but I could tell you this, if my dad said to do something in that house, hey, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
You're definitely ready in the household still.
I promise you. Yeah. Look, to this, you be around me.
But you also got to, you know, let them know, like, your pops was still working now.
Hey, when I say that my mom was making more, like, it wasn't that my dad wasn't working. My dad worked 12 hours a day. He worked hard, like, but you know, my dad was the leader because of more than one piece too. And this is why I'm gonna get it, you know, get y'all the game on, right? Like, my dad taught me how to separate my lights from my darks.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna be real, right? Like, my dad taught me how to do that. My dad taught me, you know, when it comes to leadership, my dad know how to cook from scratch, everything. I'm talking about, you know, when they be like, oh, can you build a house? Absolutely, my dad can.
So talk about Pops real quick. Like, let him know, like, where Pops from, how he grew up.
Yeah.
How was he able to teach you all this stuff? Yeah.
Man, so I'll kind of, you know, dive into my Pops real quick. So, you know, my Pops is the youngest of 8. You know what I mean? He got 4 brothers and 4 sisters.
Oh, yeah, they was in there fucking.
And they all with the same. Hey, man, look now. But, you know, they all same mama, same daddy, everything,
big
right?
Family,
just big family, you know.
Same.
You know, they from a small town in Maryland. You know, my pops got family all the way from North Carolina, Maryland, all of that. But, you know, like, the Wallace family is so big. You know, like I told you, man, we got a book to track how many family members it is because it's over like 500.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so, you know, my dad, the youngest of eight, they didn't have no money to, really do different types of things. Like my dad, he used to tell me when he was growing up, he still picked tobacco. My dad born in
Like in
19,
the fields.
yeah, my dad born in 1963.
Oh,
So my
yeah.
dad
He on the
still,
cusp. Yeah, he
yeah,
right
he
there
on the
on the.
cusp of like, yeah, but my dad grew up picking tobacco, still working the fields and stuff like that. So, he had to learn a lot. I'm gonna say that he the youngest one, so it's like, all of them. Like I look at all my uncles, all of right, like they all know how to do stuff. Like my uncle Clarence, he know how to work on cars. My dad know how to work on cars. My uncle Larry, he do construction. He know how to build houses. He know how to do different things. And it's like all of my uncles literally like can literally teach you something. Like so that was like something that I always felt like growing up. Like when you went around, even just not even just my pops, but just his family, like you was gonna learn
Just
something.
gonna learn
You was gonna
something.
learn something, man.
Yeah.
Like you wasn't gonna be no man, and you couldn't,
And you couldn't do
and
like
you couldn't
shit
do
with your hands,
you
stuff
couldn't do
like
no
that.
what that wasn't going down, bro.
Yeah.
And like you know what I'm saying. And then I'm gonna tell you something that's really interesting in their family dynamic. They all got strong women. I'm gonna tell you that.
Okay. Okay.
Like so,
Yeah. Talk
most
to
of
him.
them like they not like what I would say myself is like, but they the leaders. I'm telling you, they the leaders, bro. But they not they woman might make more money and maybe not, right? But it's not that they the leaders because I'm telling you, like they know how to
They orchestrate.
they know how to lead in a
They know how
different
to
fashion.
delegate. Yeah.
They know how to lead in a different fashion is what I would call it, right? Like
Mm.
when and especially because they all have sons,
Ah. Okay. That
right?
makes sense.
And so like when you look at it, like they the ones teaching them, everything. Like I learned, my dad taught me how to work on cars. I used to hate going in that garage when I was a kid, man. Right? But like that's what I mean. Like when I say like I was groomed, I tell my wife all the time, like I was groomed for this. Like from the time I was a kid, like I was made to be the leader of the house.
Yeah. He raised you to be the family man. Yeah.
Like, and what I mean, I was raised to not even just be a family man. Like I mean, when I say raised to lead, like he would teach me like, okay, cool. You done went to work for 12 hours, B. When you done get off work, you don't just come in and sit on that couch, and you know that them clothes ain't been done all day,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you know that ain't no food in the house, and it ain't just. He used to always tell
Yeah.
me like he didn't want me to be handicapped to need nobody.
And like a job too. He basically taught you something that a lot of people don't learn. Like your life don't finish when the job over with.
Yeah, absolutely. And they used
Mm.
to just really teach me though, like he said, a lot of times men get stuck in situations where they gotta depend on somebody to survive.
Yeah.
Like I don't cook, right? In my marriage, like a lot of people will say this all the time, like me, I don't cook, right? My wife met me, I know how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
If she decided she didn't want to make me no food today, hands gonna move.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna work, right? But
Yeah.
it's like just his style of leadership was just so different. It didn't come from him having the money. It come from my dad didn't miss no games. Like I can tell you, I can count on probably one hand in my lifetime. Like I'm 33 years old. How many events my dad ever missed in my life? Like he gonna lead by example in those regards too. Like it ain't just because he didn't make bad money either. I want to highlight that he didn't make no bad money. My dad just comes from a different place, right? Like my mom was very school oriented, very like she grew up with a corporate structure. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Where
Right.
like
Right.
they focus on degrees in my mom's family. Like my aunt, you know who my aunt Sarita is. She's very successful. She's got her degrees. My other aunts, they got their masters. My mom, she's got her degrees. My sisters got her. Like
Oh yeah.
they're like groomed
Yeah.
like that over there on that
Yeah.
side.
They ready for the corporate takeover for
But
sure.
my dad, I feel like my dad, right? Like for me to live in the South, I feel like I was born here though. Even though I wasn't,
Cause you got raised by a country man.
I did, bro.
Yeah. He sound like my people. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
like my
saying?
dad, like he is a country, but my dad, I'm
Yeah.
talking about he eating. My dad definitely.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about my dad will eat them Vienna sausages, boy.
Out the
Hey,
can with the hot
out
sauce.
the can, hey, he gonna get to it. But like
Yeah.
he really taught me every part of leadership and like leading my house because like it's more than just like, oh, I paid a bill, so I made the decision. He'll tell me like, okay, well you done made this decision. Now what come with that decision?
Man.
Okay, cool. So his style of leadership was like, and I would tell you, my dad ran that house with an iron. Like it wasn't no, it was definitely what my daddy said it went, bro.
Hmm.
Like you would think that's why I said like I feel like I was raised in a southern home because like in the South it's like a hierarchy kind of.
In
Like
a way,
you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Where like wherever you know, you got a man in the house,
Mm-hmm.
he say whatever, then mama come in and she kind of, she the one that kind of still orchestrating, showing that love, but
Right.
still making sure that she's reinforcing dad.
Exactly.
Like, and that, but really, like, that's really who my dad is. And so my mom, she not like that.
You notice how they say it's supposed to be in the Bible, though.
Yeah, but
you know,
like even my mom used to, you know, want to be like mild, like, you know,
oh
like
yeah,
when my daddy was tough on me.
mm-hmm.
And so when I say I was groomed for it, bro, like I look at all the phases of leadership. Right now, leadership as far as money go, I learned that from my mama. Like I learned how to manage all the money that I know how to manage from my mom. My mom was in banking my whole life. So like when I was 17, like I already had a good credit score. Like I bought my first house when I was 20. You know what I'm saying? So my mom taught me all the money side. My dad was a simple man, and what I mean by a simple man is like he followed that narrative of I bring the bread home and you make the
that old school, you know.
Yeah, and that's how his daddy was. He bring the check home, and mama managed the checkbook, and that's really how I grew up. Right now, some people will be like, in this current time, right? Like some people are,
I don't know about in 2025. That's wow.
You know
That's crazy. You might well go to Alibaba.
So, but that's why I say I learned leadership from all phases because yeah, my mom did work a lot, right? But then I kind of also seen like a person who make a lot of money and still like had the humility to listen.
Yeah.
So like that's what I mean by like the art of the submissive woman, which you know we'll kind of dive into. But like my mama didn't have to tell my daddy to do nothing. My daddy wanted to do it. Like it wasn't nothing my dad didn't do for my mom in that house. Like if my mom wanted biscuits from scratch in the morning, my daddy would have made them.
Yeah. That's one thing I love about Pops too, though. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, he gon' whatever you ain't gotta ask. It's done already.
Right, but that's why though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, bro. Like I would say, and I'm gonna get into it later in the topic. But like I always tell folks, the submissive woman leads the man.
That's right. That's right.
And if you know,
I could never see that happening if your mom didn't listen to him at all. Yeah.
I tell folks if you don't understand that, because as soon as you say the word submissive, they think slavery.
Oh my God.
They think like when you tell them be quiet, that means listen. Like that ain't even what that means. Like
I automatically think you unintelligent if you feel some type of way when I say submissive. You know,
like my wife can literally get probably anything in the world from me, right? But how? Because
I mean, she listen.
She listen, bro.
Yeah,
like,
she does.
You, like she really, if in a real sense, like my wife really run the house, but I run the house. Like, I run the house. But
I feel you. I feel you, big dog.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, but you know what I'm saying? In my game, bro.
But I, you know, watching how, because I mean, being here from the start of y'all relationship to where y'all at now, I definitely see. I remember telling you when you first got with her, you know, because you was a little rough around the edges at first. Hey, nah, but I remember saying like, okay, bro, like she might actually like balance you out a little bit, like with her softness or whatnot. Yeah. And then like I started realizing in the beginning it wasn't easy, but when she started listening to you, it made you a different person. Like I watched you change. Yeah.
I mean, it's natural though. That's why I'm trying to tell you. Like, even though, like, I may theoretically make the most or do whatever I do in the house or whatever it is, right? Like, she got the voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, she come to me and be like, and she ain't, and it's gonna be how she approach me with it too. Like her leader. That's why I said like leadership has different styles, right? Like her leadership ain't gonna be as loud as mine.
Yeah, that's right.
She's the type of person that'll move a room and you'll never know she moved it.
Yeah.
Like you gonna know if I move the room.
Yeah.
For sure gonna know, right? But you'll never know if I actually move the room or not. And that's what I mean by like different formats of leadership, right? Like actually, pull me to the side and be like, hey, you need to do X, Y, Z. All right, I ain't trying to go out there.
Right.
Tell your business.
Yeah, she'll sure do that. Yeah.
She'll talk to me. She'll talk to me offline.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back and I'll be like, hey, we gonna do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but that leadership, even for me, like I saw that at a young age. Like my dad used to tell me there wasn't no roles. I ain't even know like that stuff. Like you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy to think that my dad was born in 1963, right? And he used to be like, "No, ain't no role in the house. Like if something need to get done, you just do it.
You just get it done." Yeah.
Like, my dad, I'm gonna be real. My dad probably did the majority of the laundry growing up. My dad. Now, when I got older, of course, I had to wash them
Right.
My sister or my brother. Or,
That's what we got them kids for, man.
Yeah, we had to watch them. But like at first, like my dad, I'm gonna tell you now. You know how you used to hear them stories about how your mom be cleaning on Sunday. No, that was pops. I used to hate Sunday because when that pine sol come out, my dad is the most disinfected.
Hey, the house clean though.
Hey, listen, he's definitely the one that was like, "Oh no, woman, want no dirty man." Like I'm telling you, like when I say I was made to like,
He put you on,
so early. Like I'm talking about my room. It was like a thing that like if I would get in more trouble. I'm gonna tell you this. I remember getting suspended from school all the time, fights, whatever was going on. Right? Pop ain't really gonna say too much. You defend yourself. You did what you're supposed to. All right. Don't do it again, bro. He come in that house in that room.
Oh, that room dirty. Oh yeah.
Hey, bro. You might as well rack that up. You know it's an incoming fade immediately. Hey, and go on prepare yourself. And my dad is a country boy, so I'm gonna tell you now, my dad, like, you gonna go pick that switch. Hey, and you gonna get what's coming to you.
Hey, I say like if you was raised like that, like it make the military seem like a cakewalk.
Hey, the military was super.
It was easy, yeah. You was already.
I already knew what it was, right?
Yeah.
So like, that's why I say like leadership don't. For me, like when I met my wife, like I didn't even make no money. I wasn't making no money when I met Ashley, but I already knew I was gonna be the leader.
Right.
And it's not because I felt entitled; it's because I already knew how to do it.
But like at that time, you weren't making no money. Was she making money?
No, I kind of feel like we started at the same pace. I think when I met Ashley, I'm probably making like, now mind you, this is 2016.
Like 16, 17, something.
I'm making like 20K a year, bro.
Yeah. No, I remember, but she was working though, yeah.
Yeah, but she wasn't making a lot of money. She was just starting.
She was just starting.
Just actually graduated with her LBM when I met her.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, literally just finished.
That's right.
When I met her.
So, okay.
The first time, so she wasn't even deep in her career.
She was just getting started.
And so was I. So
okay.
It kind of lined up. And so I feel like that kind of worked in my favor, because I had a plan though, and that was another thing like that come with my leadership, like my particular leadership style. You be around me, like I'm very thought out. Like I play the long game. I do have short term goals, but I definitely can see the floor. You know what I mean? I can see the big picture. I can definitely guide you into your spaces and where you need to go. And so that allowed really her to trust my leadership too, because like, I'm younger than her too. You know what I mean? Like most people don't even realize. A lot of people actually think I'm older than her, actually.
I mean, I could see it though,
Yeah. And I'm younger than her by 3 years.
I'll be forgetting that, to be real.
Yeah, I'm 3 years younger.
I'll be forgetting, yeah.
And you think my wife at the time, Marcus was 7.
Yeah, he was a little knucklehead, yeah.
7. So you think I feel like Ashley was like a whole lifetime ahead of me. And what I mean, that's what I mean. She really had to trust my leadership because she already had to keep.
Yeah.
Mark already older, and I'm 23 at the time. I'm 23 or 24 at the time. She's 27.
Yeah, I remember 23, no kids.
Yeah, like,
Mark, finna be a teenager.
It's like a whole different ball game coming into there. You know what I mean? And trying to be the leader. Because you really gotta
prove yourself, yeah.
Prove yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why I said like I ain't never feel like I was entitled to it. Like I can't
right.
And put that work in.
Yeah.
And so like when people see like how oh man, I even think it's kind of interesting how people look at perspectives of my marriage or my relationship. A lot of people think like, oh, I just say whatever and that boom and fall in line. I'd be like, nah, it don't even move.
You wish.
It don't even move. Like, I be telling them like Ashley a sweet soul to y'all online, bro.
Yeah.
Hey. Y'all don't know her.
Hey, boy, I'll never forget.
I said y'all don't know, baby.
I'll never forget, but I heard her curse one time for the first time. Yeah. Like, obviously, shortly after y'all got together. But I used to think the same thing. Now, don't get it twisted. She is a sweet woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she definitely is a sweet woman. Sweet. But like when I heard her turn up for the first time, I was like,
yeah.
Where's she from again?
Real swiftly remind you.
Say, oh,
just because she is sweet.
Hey,
don't let it get you to thinking it's sweet.
Hey, she went from being an ER nurse to
She reminds you she from that down in Phoenix.
Yo, my mama, yeah.
So, but I always say like different styles of leadership is kind of what shapes and makes the phases in America. Like I always tell people this, right? Leadership ain't really a gender thing to me.
Yeah.
Whoever the best fit is. Now, even I would say this, I always tell ladies never take it wrong, but I always say that we are more equipped to be leaders. And the reason I say that, and I always tell them like don't ever take offense to it, but I say when you watch a woman that gotta pay all the bills, go to work 12 hours, come home, cook, clean, run the house, handle the kids, the same way I do, they're mean, bro.
I was going to say they're not leading anything. They only got the capacity to do just that.
Right, and
Yeah,
super
they're
mean,
very uptight, very
they're
mean.
like,
Yeah,
bro,
because
they're going to say they're overstimulated, and that's hard to do. But I do that every day.
Ever since that we do it every day.
I do that every day, and I'm not one of them dudes that don't help with the kids because that's the first thing they go and talk about.
Yeah.
Oh well, guys come home and they don't help with the house. I even just speaking on my daily tasks today. I woke up, I got both my girls together. You know what I'm saying? I got them breakfast together. I went through. I cleaned the house up. I mopped the floors. I was cleaning up the house, make sure that the house was clean for when my wife come home later.
Honestly, bro, you know, you got to think about the time that we living in right now. There ain't too many guys are coming more out now and speaking about the things that we do, but we've been doing this since day one.
Like,
right?
I don't know. It's not odd to me. Like
it's normal, and it's
normal. Like my dad
but to us, it is though.
Like, I've been watching my daddy do this since I was a pup.
Yeah.
So when I look at it, but I also say that even in this regard, like when I met my wife, right? She didn't like having to make every single decision every single day, trying to figure out all the money every day. She didn't like doing that. It's strenuous, right? But to me, and then like this is what I also say: when they have to do the role that I have to do, their emotional capacity and their emotional intelligence is extremely low.
Low, yeah, super low.
Because I often like reflect on like when they're kind of handling everything and then you tell them like, nah, you still gotta be nice. You still gotta talk to me nice. You gotta be soft. And they say I can't because I'm not in my femininity. I said, wait a minute, you telling me I'm in my masculineness every day and I figure out how to I said I don't have to make you be feminine. Like that's you're supposed to figure that out.
That's on you.
Right? Like whether you gotta work hard or not, you figure that out. Because even when I'm in my masculine mode, I gotta figure out how to bring myself down to talk to you in a manner that is not too rough. So again, like leadership comes from who can handle it, in my opinion. Right? Now, I'm gonna be real. I got a sister. I ain't even gonna lie. You already know. My sis really built for leadership.
I was gonna say she a CEO for sure.
Hey, I'm not even gonna play you.
Yeah.
She really made for it.
Yeah. If she said do some shit, I'll be like, Roger.
She made for it, bro. And I'm gonna tell you this: her emotional IQ is she can handle all the responsibility in the world and still talk to you like this. Now she can talk to you the other way.
Yeah.
She can definitely talk to you the other way, but like she's made for it, bro. And she just handles it like she handles it well too, right? So in her scenario, me and her talk all the time. She's like, "Well, why can't a woman lead?" And I'm like, "I'm not saying you can't. It's who's more equipped."
Right.
And I think that's kind of how I look at things. Is like when I look at the times that we live in, I think people want to too easily just be like, "Oh, it's a man thing or a woman thing," and I like it's just more who's equipped.
Yeah.
And for me, like in my relationship, like even for me, like I'm super equipped for it. Like my wife would tell you, like my capacity is super high. You know what I mean? You being around me, like the load that I can handle and still function.
Yeah.
Is very. I could be, at a time I was running all three of our businesses, raising our children, running a car club, doing anything, going to school, doing whatever I'm doing, and still figuring it out. And I'm still helping around the house. And I'm still figuring out like, how to talk to the kids and how to talk to her and still working on myself all in that process and not saying things like, I'm overstimulated. And that's why I feel like I fall into the category of strong leader because I have demonstrated that I can handle all the things, that come with leadership. Right? I don't want to be the man just cause like I want to make the decision because I have proven time and time again that if there's a hard time, like I can still function in the hard time.
Right.
I have functioned rich, I have functioned poor, I have functioned through all different types and phases of my life. So, for me, leadership, like overall, like I said, I do believe I was groomed for it. But even with you, right? Like, I would say you the leader.
I mean, yeah, we're not like you. It's like you said. We earlier you stated something about leading in different facets, or like being a leader in different like spaces, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like you broke down like how you're the leader of the household,
Yeah.
but Ashley is the leader
Of the family, I would say actually the leader of the family.
of the family. Yeah, I was finna say you.
I think you have to understand the difference.
Yeah.
When I say that, I'm just
Yeah, like break that down. Yeah.
break that down real quick. If Ashley said we doing something,
Y'all, y'all doing it, bro.
like if Ashley said we barbecue on
Yeah,
Saturday,
that's what y'all doing, bro. That's what's going on. That's what's going on.
And I'm gonna have to go tell my son and all the rest of the kids, like, hey, don't do that complaining. And just go ahead and get it done.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because even with my son, right, when he don't want to do something and he know I don't want to do it too, he'll be like, "Damn, why don't you just go tell mom that we not doing it?"
Not tell mom we not doing it.
He's like, if you don't want to do something, you don't be doing it. And I'm like, you gotta.
He ain't reached that level yet. We all got somebody to answer to, young man.
Got somebody. There's different phases that it's certain stuff like that I just be like, nah, I ain't going for it. And then it's other stuff that I be like, nah, she ain't going for it. And when it come to that family stuff,
oh yeah, she ain't playing about that.
Hey, look, Ashley, even with her, I look at her sisters. Ashley acts like she's the family manager.
I think she is, bro.
They don't know it yet.
They don't know it, bro.
They go ahead. Ashley is the family manager.
She gotta be.
Know it or not.
Yeah, she be on it though. When it come to that family stuff, I know she be on it. Hey, we can't. Hey, I know I gotta.
What I mean by phases of leadership is like, I'm not the leader in that, and I know how to sit back.
Yeah, and let her do that part.
And
you don't say nothing. Yeah, we don't even plan a guys' night or nothing. Man.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Look, bro, you'll be asking me why I didn't invite you. Like a lot of people, even like
I know what's up, but I understand.
You what's up.
I get it. You know what I'm saying?
She'll tell you what's up.
Yeah.
I don't invite nobody. I don't even invite nobody to the family function. My friends be like, bro, why don't I never get no invite? You gotta talk to Ashley, bro.
She be setting everything up.
I don't even know where I get a text that tells me where I need to go
at that time. Be there at this time.
And bring something.
Yeah.
And don't be late.
And
And that's what it is.
That's literally how it's been for years. Yeah.
Hey, bro. And but that'll tell you like a different phase of leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't the leader in that. So it's like I might be the leader of the house, but I don't lead everything.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to my girls, right? Like Ashley probably the point guard. When it comes to my son, I ain't doing too. Actually, no, I ain't gonna argue too much.
Yeah.
Like once I let him know what it's gonna be, or even when I ain't gonna argue too much about it, right? If she say she want to do something with the girls, or she want their hair a certain way, or she want whatever, like all right, cool. And it's like that's also like a different piece of leadership that's not discussed is knowing your lane and like how to transition between leader and follower. You feel me? Like my dad definitely, as much as like it may sound like oh my mom made the most money so she made decisions. My mama know when to start making decisions. She know. I promise you. She'll tell you herself like, hey, she know exactly where that line is with my dad. And like when it comes to like manly stuff or like how he was supposed to handle me, hey, that line was concrete. Like you stay on that side, I'm on this side. I got it.
And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about leadership after being around you and your family for so long. Because most people don't know, but again, like I don't come from a family that's necessarily like Darnell's, if that makes sense. Like, I grew up in a single mom household, and I never knew what it looked like to have both parents. I never knew what it looked like for a man to lead, and I never knew what it looked like for a woman to lead or even be submissive, right? Because my mama just been, you met Mama Rachel. You met Mama Rachel. You know how I get. Yes, ma'am. Sometimes I fuck around and say yes, sir, no, sir.
wasn't
but
hungry.
yeah,
He told me
no.
to sit down.
Hey, that way, cause when you leave, you can never say,
Hey.
hey, cause you're not finna go out there in the streets and tell nobody that Rachel ain't feed you.
Oh, yeah.
Ate them pancakes, my boy.
You gonna sit down. But look, I'm a leader. I could have been like, rah, rah.
But and that's no, I'm saying you could have. Some guys would have thought, nah, you know, you knew when to.
Yeah, I know when to sit back.
Uh-huh.
I know when to step up.
Uh-huh.
So I know how to maneuver, and that's like another thing I'll say. Like I learned how to maneuver through different spaces very well.
Yeah, I think you good at adapting.
Yeah. I think that's like something that I'm very strong at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't really matter who I'm around. You know,
I'm the same way though. I feel like
I can handle myself.
Do you think that's a infantry thing or what?
I don't know, bro. I would say I feel like I've been able to do that since a young age, bro. Because like even growing up where I grew up at, bro, like you know, people used to say I didn't talk good enough or I didn't do certain things.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? Right? But I was like, but y'all kicking it with me.
Right.
Kicking it with me. Y'all cool with me, right? But I said, but see, I can go on the other side.
You could do both.
You can't. I can't.
You could do both,
I can go. You know what I'm saying? I can be in the investment room and I can go over there with the
with the hood niggas. Yeah.
It don't matter to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so that's why like I'm always cool with being able to be flexible.
Yeah, that's one of my mottos I try to live by too. Is like be fluid. You know, like water.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's again when you talk leadership, the best leaders are fluid.
And I be learning, bro. I'm learning, man.
You have to be fluid as a leader.
You have to. I'll never forget one of the lessons I learned from you when working at that shop, man. And I was like, nah, bro. Like you said, we have to do this at this time. So if it's basically, I used to have a bad habit and not being able to adjust if shit go wrong. As you remember how I used to get, bro. Like we had an appointment at 12. Nigga showed up at 1 or 2:30, but we finna go to lunch. But I still got to take him in because he showed up late. But I'm like, should I have an attitude with him, or do I? You know, like I also learned that when you said when people want to be the man just because, I can admit in the early part of my life, again, not having those things growing up, you start to think that you're just supposed to be the leader. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, when I tell you these dudes want to be a man just because, I can't tell you how many dudes I get around that I'm like, you should not be the leader.
Yeah.
You should absolutely follow.
You should be following somebody for sure. So you have to know when you know. And
again, like that comes from also self-confidence.
Yeah.
That comes in self-confidence, right? Like being a leader, you have to be confident.
Oh yeah, you got to be confident.
You can tell when dudes aren't confident and they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's facts. You could tell. You can always tell.
You can always tell, bro.
For sure.
And that's why I know, like when I get around certain people, I'm like, you get talked too bad.
Yeah, they let you. She talk to you.
Now you want to come talk bad to me?
Don't be mad at me because you don't like your life, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey. I ain't finna talk tough with you at all.
Oh, man.
That's like, you know what I'm saying? I be telling dudes, I'm like, bro, we like 30, we 33, 34 years old. You still talking? All right,
man.
Bro. Hey, you know what I'm gonna tell you? You got it.
Man.
But it's like, you know, that's what I mean, though. It kind of just like, that's what it just kind of segues into, like, you know, my next segue, which was like the art of the submissive woman. Like, you can absolutely tell women who run their house without running their house.
Oh, that's facts. And that's what I was going to ask you, though. Because when you mentioned, you said your wife listened to you, but you also listened to your wife. But my question to you, as you know, you being the leader and her recognizing you as the leader, what do you do as a man in those times when your authority, I hate to make it sound like this, ladies, but I won't say when your authority is challenged, but when you done made a plan, you done showed the proof, you done showed that you're the leader, and you know that one time she's like, hey, or she might not even say nothing. She might just go against. You know, what do you do in those moments? Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely times like that that's gonna happen. And I would say like the easiest moments are always gonna be with kids, right? Because kids are always gonna be the one thing that I say cause different variations, right? Because everybody's raised different. Yeah. Right. And so like, you know, my wife is the more compassionate, the second chance.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we not that.
Yeah. I would say like it definitely happens. I would say it just depends on how it go. I mean, sometimes it's more of a conversation that's got to happen offline.
Yeah.
And also I do find it like being direct.
Like you being direct,
Yeah,
or
being direct on like if I ain't like it.
Like, oh, you're coming straight out and saying it as soon as it happened.
Yeah, but like I ain't like I've learned even me, I've had to learn when to say it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like again, coming in and being a stepdad.
Yeah.
I'm the leader of the house.
It's a little hard, yeah.
But check this. When I was first coming in, Ashley was the leader of Marcus. That was for sure. That was for sure. And like that didn't change,
for a minute, Y'all had to work through that,
And then like eventually over time it was like,
well, you showed her.
Yeah. Hey, I really
you got this. You really hold this shit down, yeah.
I'm really the one.
And if you let me do more, you will have more.
He gonna come out smooth.
Yeah. Now look at him.
Yeah.
Now look at the eagle flying out the nest, soaring high.
And I mean, like she has a role with him
for sure.
His growth and development.
Yeah.
Like, even if you look at where he's at right now, like I feel like it's just my time with him.
Nah, bro. If you look at Marcus right now, bro, he looks like you, bro. Like he. And all like in every good way possible, bro. Like
I'm gonna say this, bro. I don't just take good credit because this is why I say like leadership is crazy, right? Like of knowing why everybody can't lead. There's early traits that I have to go back and correct in him on like how my leadership was when I was younger.
When you first started out, that's right.
Like, because I really
you were harsh, bro. You was a little rough around the edges, my guy.
Now, like, if you make my son mad, hey bro.
Well, he not doing that shit you used to do, is he?
Hey, bro, Mark be handling it, hey, I be sitting there laughing at folks. They be Mark speak with it, right? I be like, nah, Mark finna handle you.
Hey, and that's crazy too.
Hey, I'm on God. Like one night he was on the phone talking to somebody. And I waited until he got on the phone. I said, "Hey, fam, hey, why are you talking to them like that?" He's like, "Cause I know they're." I said, "Ooh." I said, "Oh yeah, that's hey," and I know it's from me,
bro.
And I know it, and I'm sitting there
man.
Like, okay. And again, like that's why. So when my woman tell me something now, like, really and truly, like the person who got me to be better with him was really my woman, though. And it took a lot because I feel like I'm the man, so I know how to be a man. And you're not finna come over here and tell me nothing about being a man, especially because I got my dad. Hey, I tell folks I grew up with mine. You didn't tell me nothing about it. So
one thing about you, boy, you gonna
hey, when it come to that, like you ain't finna say too much to me, right? But it was times in her marriage where she would be like, "Nah, you gotta do it different," and then I would be like, "Nah, my dad did it this way," and she'll be like, "And did you like
it?" Did you?
And I see her like, "Nah, I'm mad," because now I got attitude because I'm like, I didn't like it, but I turned out good, so it's like now I have to ask myself like, do I repeat the trauma and hope the result is the same, or
they say there's always a better way.
So so even in that case, like. There's times like that. It's times where, me, I make my money, bro. It'd be times where she'd be like, you gotta chill. Now, I done made the money. And you telling me I gotta chill? I used to be like, no, I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah, I can see how making more money or being the person that's making more money.
And then you gotta like, you gotta listen. I wasn't good at it. I'm not gonna lie.
My boy said, I made how much this month? And you want me to do what? With that boy, hey, I say, you talking about practice?
Yeah. I'm gonna be real. Like, that's why I said, like, over time, you really learn, like, what I mean by the art of submissive woman. Ashley's effect is a passive effect. And what I mean by a passive effect is this. Ashley is, like, so kind that, like, if I feel like I disrupted her, or I like said something to like knock her off her beat, it's gonna bother me.
Cause she's like so nice like that. Like you can't even do a nice person wrong because it's gonna.
I don't want to handle it that way.
Yeah.
And so like sometimes even if I find myself like doing that, like at first I wouldn't want to say sorry, bro. That, bro. And like that's a bad habit for me as a kid. My dad used to try to make me say sorry as a kid. I used to tell him like, bro, go ahead and whoop me.
Yeah, go ahead and get my whooping, get it over with.
I'm not saying nothing, bro.
That boy crazy. He did not want to apologize.
I used to tell like, bro, I'm talking about.
Because you stood on that.
Bro, I'm 17 years old. Whoop me, bro. Put your hands up. I'm not saying it, bro.
That boy crazy.
I don't care. I'm not. And it's like, but that'll let you know how powerful my wife is. Like, I don't like disrupting her.
She done killed you with kindness. Yeah.
The art of submission.
No, yeah.
And it's like, she gonna kill you in a different way, bro. I don't even want to handle her in that manner. Because she don't like, she ain't even like that. So it don't even make me want to engage her in that manner.
Yeah. But I respect Ashley more than anything, especially like shortly after y'all got married. Because I remember it was a time where y'all was kind of, before the marriage, where y'all was like talking, kind of going through it. Yeah. And then I had talked to her one day. And it was about like, because back then you was a little bit, younger, a little bit more aggressive. And I was like, I'm gonna be real with you. That's my brother love you, Yeah, I said he love you for sure. I said, but the way he's showing it right now is the best way we know how to show it as men. Yeah. And then I was like, but don't ever stop being nice to him. Yeah. Hey, I said, that's the one thing I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't ever stop being nice. Like,
that's like really what draw me in though. Like I'm gonna tell you now.
It would draw any bro like, if you don't got some anger built up, you done been in the military, you done did tours, you done had things going on in your childhood as a man, you a black man in America. Bro, you need softness. You need a soft woman, bro.
I'm be real. My mama.
Your mama not soft like Ashley, I don't think.
Not at all, bro.
I think she is now.
She like, I'll say this. She done got better.
She used to be worse.
She was rough, bro.
She used to be rough.
Yeah, bro.
Growing up.
My mama was like my sister, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, my mama used to be like my sister. So like, I ain't even experienced. I'm telling you now, I ain't know how to handle my woman when I got her, and like.
Cause you ain't never been around a woman like that. Okay.
And like, there were times in the marriage where I mishandled her, and then like she stopped being nice, and then
you got confused, like.
No, then I realized the mistake. Like, then I'm like, oh no, I don't like how you handling me right now. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm for real. I noticed it. Like I pay attention. I'm very attentive to her. So it's like, if she not being nice or sweet to me and she handling me a certain way,
something up, yeah.
Hey, I'll tell. Hey, whoa, don't handle me that way. I just handle me nice. Talk to me nicely. I'll do what you ask me to. You just handle me the right way.
Right.
And that's what I mean, like by but dudes don't understand that. I tell dudes all the time, bro. Like, your woman can be the softest thing in the world to you, bro. If you make the space for it. And like, I ain't make the space when I was younger because like, shoot, I'm just coming out the army.
You trying to get it, bro? Yeah, boy, trying to touch them M's right now.
I'm trying to run it up like I'm doing it the way I think. Mm-hmm. So it's like at that time, I ain't even as mature as I am now in my growth. And so now, like, I started, I started realizing, like, okay, like, I prefer a soft touch. And if I want a soft touch, then this is what is required
for you to do.
But then ask yourself this. If that's the case, if you're doing the adjustment, who is the leader?
I mean, I think...
So it's like...
I think you still can be the leader.
You are. What I mean is this, like...
Or who is the leader of...
You got to understand what power is, right? And this is what I mean by the art of submission, right? Dudes don't like to hear it. But, like, your woman got the most power, bro. Like,
oh, yeah, that's facts.
Your woman can make you adjust in every...
If she doing right, if she's doing the right things, if she's in that space where she's safe and she's soft, bro, she'll definitely, with her words alone,
They control the whole flow.
The tempo.
Like,
the tempo of it,
They control it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I always think of it this way. And I kind of compare it to moments in my life, right? Like, I always feel like when me and my wife is on the same page, bro, everything.
Nothing can stop y'all,
Nothing, bro. It's like, bro, I swear to you, like, I have ran up it's incredible the amount of things I have done, like, when we on the same page. And when we are not on the same page and we are at each other.
Yeah, you seen that too, yeah.
But you can tell in all the facets of life. Because everything is going against the grain.
That's facts.
So it's like, I learned those things over time. And it's like, I tell dudes, right, like, if you want to be the man, cool. Just be ready for what come with it. Because, like, and I do make the most in my relationship. So I could just be like, oh yeah, because I make money, I do this. And I had to explain to my wife, once upon a time, because she used to be, oh, well, you just think because you make the money. I said that ain't why I'm the leader. I'm the leader because like I lead our son. I make sure you good. I make sure you function. Like I had even told her, right? I said the reason your aura looks so good is because you are not stressed.
Hmm.
I said soft looks good on you. It allows you to be that nice person that everybody knows.
Right,
I
right.
said so. I said never take for granted either on the other side of that.
Yeah, because on the other side, you over here got all the pressure built up. You got to do all
So
the
I
leg
had
work.
to
Yeah.
explain that. So that's why I say like what comes with both sides and meeting with the artist and mission is like she has to submit with me, but it's like almost like a backward side where I'm doing the same thing because like with her, everybody always talks about how nice Ashley is. Ashley was the most unstressful, unbothered. she ain't she ain't gonna come out off with no bad energy.
I was
She
going
ain't
to say they see how nice she is, but they don't understand the
nah.
root of it,
Yeah, they don't
where
know
it's
why.
coming
And
from.
it's not to say that she wasn't like that before. She
Right,
was a
right, right,
nice
right,
person before.
right, right.
But I mean like it's like
Now she's definitely on a different level.
it's
Like,
different. It's
yeah, for
definitely a
sure.
thing, right? Like you could tell like when you meet women who are cared for or what I would call well kept.
Yeah,
You could tell
it's
a
a
woman.
difference for sure.
You
You
could
could
tell a
see the
well kept. You
difference.
could tell a well kept woman, bro.
Yeah, you can see the difference.
They or when they come in is very much not of anything in the struggle.
Yeah, that's facts.
And so that's why I look at like you know all my phases of leadership. And I tell dudes don't be so entitled to just be a leader, especially if you don't even know what it look like.
Yeah.
And I tell dudes don't be a like it's such a hard thing for dudes to do, but when you see another man that has experience in leadership and you don't, like, don't be so arrogant to think that you don't need help.
I see what you're saying. So like, don't be afraid to find a mentor or
I would say a mentor because, like, yeah,
yeah,
you know, I would say this right. Men with fathers are already black men with fathers are very rare, right?
super rare.
We're super rare in a sense, right? So how do you learn
Yeah. Honestly,
if nobody's passing the knowledge?
you literally hit on that earlier, and that's why I was like, that's probably another thing that draw me closer to you, like as a friend when we first started being friends, like living together when we was roommates, right? In the military. I'll never forget when you had the one friend that you had the one time
Yeah,
and you was going through that situation. And then that was the start of me meeting Pops and
yeah,
then your mom and them, right?
yeah.
And I started to see like what I didn't have growing up. And then at that moment I knew like, okay, like not only is bro a good friend, like he got a solid foundation.
Then that's what makes it
And
different, right?
and I knew I could follow you then because I knew that you weren't gonna tell me some crazy, single daddy shit or some single baby mama shit or nothing.
No, and it's like my brain don't even work like that,
It
bro.
never, yeah,
Like
you've
when
never
you get
even,
around me, like my
yeah,
brain is so logical, bro.
very, yeah,
It's very like in structure and
yeah,
rooted like in things that I have been taught and seen my whole life. So,
yeah.
but I always tell people like the teachings have to be passed, and so like you know, I like the craziest thing I tell people is they kind of don't realize it, but like and I don't say it to brag, but like having a dad is a cheat
That's a
code,
hack, bro.
bro.
It's a life hack,
That shit
bro.
is a life hack, bro.
For real.
Like when I tell you I don't argue with people about certain stuff of
You
why
can. It's like you can tell who didn't have a dad, bro.
I immediately
Yeah, that's facts.
I can tell how you handle conflict.
And I see it now because you know how I used to handle conflict.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying?
hey,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
facts.
I can immediately tell if you had one based on like how you handle conflict
That's
or how you
facts.
handle decisions or what you think is solid and what ain't.
Yeah, that's facts.
Right? Like
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
Man, I used
like,
to think some shit was okay and
I'm like, where did you learn
yeah.
like, why do you feel like that's cool?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Those were some tough conversations, bro. Like,
I mean, like even with my dad, like just teaching me like when somebody do something for you, the art of gratitude.
yeah.
Like I learned that from my dad, bro. Like that, my dad has like a rule in the house. It was a rule. I'm like when I say a rule of law,
Mm-hmm.
if you was ungrateful, hey,
What are you doing?
hey,
Taking your shit or what?
bro, you gonna learn.
Run me that back.
Hey, hey, you ain't gonna eat. You ain't gonna. Hey, listen. Okay. Hey, yes sir. Hey, he ain't finna say too much about it neither.
Mm.
He finna show you.
Yeah.
And he finna show you every reason why you should have appreciated it. I'm talking about, hey, I remember like fussing with him as a kid sometimes about being late to pick me up from practice. Now, mind you, I told you my dad worked nights. But he used to go to work late at night and he needed some sleep, so he might have overslept.
A little bit, I see. Yeah.
Okay. I just started arguing. Hey, boy, 2 weeks in, I ain't had no ride home from practice. I'm walking. Now, my practice is far from the house where I'm trying to catch a ride. And now I got to go back in the house. And my mama telling me for 2 weeks, just say sorry.
I was gonna say, just apologize, my guy.
No, because I don't want to lose no argument to him. He's gonna show you, bro.
So let me ask. So would you say, and it's probably kind of controversial too, but I know you hit on the art of a woman being submissive.
Yeah.
But would you say there's ever a time for like a man needing to be submissive? Is that like a thing, or submissive the word that you should use for a man, or what?
I would say this, bro. Word is words to me, right? And
Right.
you gotta really understand words to understand that they're not gender specific.
Right.
But I would say this, right? Like it's plenty of times when I gotta take a step down.
Okay. Do we call that submission?
It
can be called anything. Giving in, I guess, or whatever.
Hey, look, I'm gonna give you a great example.
Okay.
Bro, last night I'm having a conversation. My mama on the phone with me. I tell her, hey, I lost the argument. About going somewhere and doing something.
Yeah.
And my mom laughed. She said, "You ain't lose no argument." She said, if you lost the argument, you wanted to." I said, "And you gotta understand, I know when to."
Hey, boy, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, huh?
Hey, I could get in my feelings and say, "Oh, I ain't submitting," but at the end of the day, whatever happened is what happened.
Was it worth it? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I said, dudes be getting too in their feelings.
Yeah.
But again, like if you ever, that's why I say like I know if you had a dad or not, because if you ever been in the house with your dad growing up, then you know that even when your dad ran the house, there's plenty of times your dad didn't make every choice.
Right.
And you know that. Like, and you know it because you've seen it.
Because you've seen it, yeah. And
you know that if mama said y'all gonna get up on Sunday at 7 o'clock, y'all better be up. And the church clothes better be on. That ain't dad. When you see dad come in the room and tell you to put your clothes on, it's because mama done already told you.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's another thing that like people fail to realize.
Like she using him to keep y'all in check.
He's the vessel.
Yeah. And see, bro, a lot of women don't understand if they use their power right, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you now. When my son do something wrong, my wife don't say nothing to him, bro. Swear to God, she don't. She come talk to me, and she gonna tell me what happened, and she gonna say,
"Bro, you basically the enforcer." You know what I'm saying?
I promise you, she gonna, especially if she feel like he done something to like maybe overpower her in a moment or whatever, or he done overtalked her, or like, now that he's bigger and older.
Yeah.
Hey, I promise you. Hey, she finna text me. Boom. Hey, I'm talking about I'm coming in the door on it. Because now I already know what's up, right? So it's like, it's plenty of times that you gon' be submit. I ain't got no ego in it, bro. I've been married for 10 years almost, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or I know I've been with my wife for 10 years almost now. I've been married 8 years, but you learn to let words be words. You feel me? Like, it's plenty of times where I gotta back down. There's plenty of times.
Yeah, and you just do it just with ease,
It takes time to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't my flow.
It ain't your style. You know what I'm saying? I know personally it ain't.
And I'm gonna tell you now, even me and my pops, we very different. Like, even growing up with
him,
I
can see it.
I'm very different than him. He's a lot more patient.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I would think y'all grew up y'all whole life together, and
but I would say like that's just like genetics because my pops not my biological dad.
Yeah, that's what throws me off though.
And if you know my real dad, I have his temperament.
I'm like, how are you like him, but you were like not around him? Right. But I've been around pops. I'm just like,
yes, like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have my real dad's temperament.
So you basically, it's a real internal battle for you to be like how you are. Not battle now, but for you to get here, it was a big.
It was super because it's like literally my DNA versus what I see.
Yeah, I see.
Literally, and like I growing up, my dad used to always ask why I was so angry and why I used to always crash out on folks all the time. And he's like I don't ever show him that. Like,
Yeah, he's never been like that, so he's like, where it come from?
When I tell you, he is the most like my dad is the most patient man in the world,
He
bro.
chill, he real chill.
He is so laid back, bro. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like I didn't even know my parents used to argue. Like that's what I'm gonna tell you is like the craziest stuff. Like I didn't even know my parents argued until I was like 16.
Hey, that's crazy. But that's actually a blessing too.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people never grew up in
Even if
no.
I would like hear a little like Felicia, it would just always be addressed later.
That right there shows real, for one, respect for the kids in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it shows a real type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like as a man to be like that aware of your surroundings and what you got to do.
He was very specific on how he talked to my mom.
Yeah.
Like he ain't never like I ain't never heard my dad call my mom out her name. Never. And that's what I mean by like leadership, bro. Like he understands his role for real.
Yeah,
like,
that's a solid example right there.
Yeah, like I ain't never.
Because I ain't finna tell you how I came up.
Yeah. So that's why I say like a lot of people feel entitled to something that they're not even deserving of.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of dudes are ashamed to say that they don't know how to lead because there is so much pressure from social media to be a perfect leader at a very young age.
Especially if you're a black man too. Yeah.
I tell dudes all the time, stop letting folks tell you how to lead who ain't
did shit or proving that they could even
if they can't do what they asking you to do, don't fall into that.
That's facts.
And that's like the biggest pieces I tell people all the time, right? Like a lot of dudes get under pressure because of like social media tells you how much money you're supposed to make. Social media tells you how you're supposed to court a woman, and most people don't realize that these standards are made by girls. They're made by little girls.
By not women.
Little girls.
Girls.
I mean little girls, bro. I'm gonna tell you this, right? My dad, when he met my mama, like you gotta look at how he was really courting her.
Yeah, how did that work?
I'm saying like my dad didn't come for no money. I done just told you my dad was.
Yeah, so he had to put thought into it.
Right.
And he had to do the picnics with the
all of that.
Yeah.
You feel me? My dad court one.
And that's what I grew up on, that real country shit, bro.
Yeah. So like
and they ain't like that no more.
Ain't coming on. Well, you see, you want to go to 300. I'm gonna tell you now. I think my mom used to like. I'm gonna go and confirm this with her. I think my mom was telling me like the first time my dad really started going out to restaurants was when they started dating. Now my dad was like 26, 25 or 26 at that time. Like before he started like going to nice places.
Hey, Pop's actually smart.
You know what I'm saying?
That boy said he ain't finna spend that bag. He ain't finna do the Rue Chris on the first night.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to tell you now. So it's like, I tell people all the time, don't let nobody tell you like, you know what I mean? If they can't appreciate what you bring in sometimes, cool.
It is.
And I don't mean to bring the bare minimum, but it's also like people got to understand who you is as a person and what you coming from.
I mean, yeah. And most people,
like, I ain't even gonna tell you. I had the most money when me and Ashley started dating, right? But our first date was nice. It wasn't Chris, but like I had been at her house a couple times already.
Before the first date.
Because like she always would do like a barbecue.
I was gonna say, but if I can remember correctly, before y'all first date, y'all had some barbecues. Yeah.
Kind of be around. I also pay attention to stuff that she was always doing when I was on the phone. She always used to watch the Food Network.
Okay.
So like I would pay attention to what she was watching, and like so the first date, I didn't spend a lot of money. I'm not gonna say I went nowhere cheap, but we went to Salt Lake Barbecue.
Salt Lake, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in Round Rock, and it's like at that time of that year
when it was real big.
Like it was all over.
It was on TV and stuff like that. Yeah.
Then we went to Round Rock Donuts.
Damn, I remember now.
So we went to Round Rock Donuts because it was on the Food Network. It was real popular, and like I really just took her to places like that would pique her interest.
You gave her an experience.
Yeah, like I was taking her places that was gonna pique her interest. Like I ain't popped no big check. It ain't even that I didn't have no money.
Yeah.
I had a couple dollars. I ain't gonna say I was like broke, when I met her because I didn't have no expenses. So,
I mean, bro, back then, we ain't had that much. Yeah, we ain't had that much.
Expenses, bro. Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think even when I might have been making I was actually still in the army.
I was gonna say, yeah, when y'all met, you was either just getting out or
so I had a little piece of money.
You had something saved for sure. Yeah,
it wasn't that I was making a ton. I just wasn't blowing my money.
Right. No, we knew what we had to do. That's why.
I had no expenses, but it's like I courted her the way I didn't let nobody tell me, oh, you got to take her to Roof Chris or you're a bum.
Yeah.
I wish that somebody would have told me that.
I think that you were intentional. I think you paid attention to her, and then boom.
That gets you much further.
Oh, for sure.
And I tell dudes all the time, bro, like a lot of y'all get tricked out your spot simply by letting people who, don't got no leadership experience tell you.
Start telling you shit. Yeah.
Right? Like the reason they tell you to take them to Roof Chris is because you don't have to put no thought in the roof.
Right.
It's nice. You know what you're gonna get when you get there. Yeah. And there's really, you know what I mean? It's like this, right? I tell people this. You could buy a Louis Vuitton bag and that's dope, right? But I could buy a lot of other things with that same amount of money.
With a better experience. Yeah, long lasting too. You're gonna remember it.
You bought the Louis bag because you just knew to go to the Louis store and it was quick. It was easy.
Yeah.
Girls don't understand how simplistic they are sometimes. Just because a dude took you to Roof Chris don't mean he really digging you like that. It's the simplest date to figure out.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes I'm married, right? Sometimes when I'm struggling on my thought process, oh yeah, let's just go to Perry's. Let's just go to say 48.
Yeah, like the quick, because they up there. Yeah.
I already know it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a great experience. It's good. I'm gonna put no thought into it. But then there's other times where like I'm mapping out a whole weekend for it.
Yeah. I'm a different type. And that's another thing too when it comes to that, like even when you said that you was paying attention to her, you took her out to the places that she liked, that's leadership in itself. Because like she didn't ask you to pay attention to her and look at the things she liked. You took that upon yourself.
Yeah. And I tell dudes this all the time. Your woman leave you breadcrumbs every day. It's up to you to figure them out.
I like that, yeah. Because they do. Almost every woman do.
They leave you breadcrumbs. Mm-hmm. Whether it's when they're on the phone with their homegirl, whether it's through a social media status, what she watch,
or whether it's the music she listens to.
It's the music, whether it's her manifestations that you overhear. Women leave you breadcrumbs all the time, and it's up to you to pick them up and make it a full piece of,
They want a cake.
You know what I mean? It's up to you to put that together.
Pick them crumbs up and make a cake.
And I feel like one thing that I'm very good at is like I'm very good at that.
Oh yeah, no, that boy baked them cakes.
Yeah, yeah. And my wife will sometimes be like, "Well, it's easy for you because I kind of sometimes."
I hate that sometimes.
You know what I tell her? I said it's not easy.
I hate that. Yeah.
You know what I tell her? People don't do it every day.
I was going to say I hate when people say it's easy.
It's not.
It's not easy.
I said it's not because I said dudes ignore the clues every day.
Mm-hmm. It's because it's easy to ignore because we got our own lives.
I could be, bro. I literally be in here with noise canceling headphones on sometimes.
Yeah.
I've heard my wife on the phone with Jasa say, "Oh yeah, this is what's going on." Da, 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 da. Boom. Next day, I have created a solution for that.
Yeah.
That's leadership, and that's why I get to do the leading though, because it's not just the money. It's when my woman come home, bro. Like she tell me she had a hard day at work, I make sure that bath is raining. I make sure that it's got the magnesium flakes in it so that it relax her mind. And I know she get headaches and she might not drink water and magnesium will pop that.
Yeah.
But that's me.
I think too, like.
And one day she was like, "Well, that's easy. I get headaches and I don't
that's easy."
And you know what I told her? I said, "Ask women how many women come home every day, dinner on the table when they go to
work. Yeah.
You don't have to think about it. The kids have been picked up. They done been taken care of. They handled. Right? You go in there. When my wife come home, I promise you, bro. If my wife worked 3 days a week, because she only work 3 days a week, right? So you can guarantee 2 out of them 3 days, she gonna come in. She gonna take at least an hour. I'm gonna give her at least an hour plus to decompress, take that bath, take that moment to even get in her space to be mommy, right? I tell her all the time, like, people do not do that. Like I said, I'm telling you right now.
Does that bother you? Like, that you have to like remind her?
No. You know why it doesn't ever bother me? Because it doesn't bother me at all to even say it. Because there's things that she does that she has to remind me that people don't do.
Yeah, that is true.
And I
That
think
is
that
true.
oftentimes you have to remember this is what we talked about earlier today: the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
The people who have things don't realize they have
That
it, and the
yeah,
people who don't, they want it.
they want it.
Most
Yeah.
people don't think about it. I sometimes don't think about, man, I
Mhm.
don't ever have to figure out what to eat.
You know it's crazy, dog. You know it's crazy. Like one of my little bros that I grew up with back home in Louisiana named AJ. Shout out to him. He rapping shit. But like when I first got with Isabella, and you know Isabella, you don't met her. She soft, she talk real soft. She look real soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes she can be lazy,
Mm-hmm.
like real lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Or she have to be reminded to do things, bro. And that used to bother me. But then I also somebody had reminded me like, well, you know, bro, is she doing these things? Is she doing that? Is she doing that? Because if she is, then you know you gotta show her some grace or cut her some slack, right?
Gotcha, bro.
And then he was like, my boy AJ was riding in the car with me one time, and she called and she was like, hey, so I just ordered your food. You wanted this, this, and that, right? And I was like, yeah, appreciate it. You know, love you, bye. And then AJ in the back seat, like, wait a minute, bro.
Yep.
He said your girl remembered your Wingstop order and she ordered it for you.
And did it for you.
And I said, yeah, why? He was like, bro, you must forgot where we come from.
Yeah.
I said, what you talking about? He's like, boy, you know them girls in Shreveport ain't doing that.
And like it's many moments.
I said,
Again, like it ain't nothing to it, and I learned to not get upset about it either.
yeah.
I learned to not get upset when I have to say something.
That's my. I think I'm still there. I haven't mastered that yet, bro.
You know what it is? Like, I'm tell you one day. I told Ashley, like, really, what, really, like, really, one day, like, we were talking about something. I said, hey, who is your car note through? Like, I looked, I said, who is the finance company for your car? She ain't know. I said, who is this? How do you do this? How does this get paid? How does that get done? I said, where does this go? How do we do this? For the investments, who's our accountant? Who handles our taxes? What's their names?
So she didn't know none of that, huh? I'm
She
assuming.
still don't. Right? But I don't know how to make the wings she make with sauce. I don't know how to do it. I don't know our child's. You ain't gonna make me feel bad. I don't know that kid doctor name.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a woman.
Yeah.
And bro, look, I tell folks all the time, you ain't never.
Hey, boy, that doctor called me, asked me about my daughter's information. I said, man, let me call Isabella real quick.
It's not gonna make me feel bad about it.
Yeah, no.
You know why? Because I got a woman, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just certain stuff I don't know. Right? I promise you, if my daughter fall and scrape herself, bro, I'm finna call my woman. Hey, babe, which one of these little things I'm supposed to put on her? The Neosporin or this one? Or I'm supposed to use the antibacterial one or which one? Hey, babe, just say I'm supposed to give the baby 5 milliliters. When I do this and I draw it, I'm talking about, she know I gotta keep everything in there. She tried to give me like a package, a syringe that wasn't in there, like that didn't come with the medicine. I said, no, I have to use the one that came
the exact same one.
Because that's what's gonna make me know how to do it.
This boy.
And she like laughing at me. I'm like, that's okay. And that's what I mean by like, everybody needs to learn their lane, bro. When you do that, that's when leadership gets cool. Because like you gotta know your lane, bro. I don't gotta do everything. I don't gotta know everything. Right? She might not know who our accountant is. I don't know where to find the certain stuff in this house.
Right.
I don't know where certain stuff is. All right. Like if I'm gonna tell you now, like if I hurt myself, I'm gonna call my woman. I ain't finna figure out nothing. Like I tell people, like you got to know where your lane is, and then like sometimes don't forget. You know what I mean?
You gotta play it well too.
Play it well.
Yeah.
Like when she say, "Oh, it's easy to do what you do," I say, "Well," because she's like, "But you know what she tell me all the time?" Like I tell her, I say, "You do what you know." I said, "I do what I don't know."
Bruh. And I think maybe that's just the responsibility of being a man too.
You know, I think that's the big difference in this. Yes, my dad did show me some things. I'm gonna tell you now, my dad is very affectionate, which is, you know what I mean. My daddy gonna have that wine for my mama.
Yeah.
He gonna have them rose petals. He gonna dance. My daddy did.
Yeah.
One of the most that makes me happy is watching my parents dance.
Yeah, Pop strike me as that type. Yeah.
He's smooth, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
he get to playing that Frankie Beverly and hey. So
look, I already know how you got my mama. Look, my mama rough, bro. He's smooth, bro.
Shit, with your mama, he probably had to be smooth, huh?
Smooth, bro.
Yeah.
He real.
He had that Jerry curl back then?
Nah, I ain't never seen my dad.
He ain't never had hair?
I don't know. My mama said he had some hair before.
We got to see the pictures, bro.
I have never seen. We got to show me those pictures.
We got to see the pictures, bro.
I'm 33.
Because if he pulled your mama with the bald head, then I'm finna listen to Buddy, bro.
Listen, man, I have never seen him with no hair.
Oh, that's crazy. Wait, even growing up as a kid?
No.
All right.
I have never seen him in my lifetime.
Hey,
33.
Man.
I have never seen him with hair.
That's crazy.
Like, and my memory, of course, probably don't go all the way back to ones and twos, but like, my dad, 26 years older than me, and I have never seen him with no hair.
Yeah, hey.
And I do look at pictures. The earliest thing I did see one time where he had some hair, but it was back here, like in the middle of his head.
Oh.
And I was like 3.
Oh yeah, nah, Buddy didn't have no hair.
He ain't had no hair.
Buddy
bro.
was gone.
And I looked at his high school graduation picture.
He ain't have no hair?
Bro, his hairline was like back here.
Oh, he was through.
He was through.
He was through it.
Hey, but look, that's what I'm trying to tell you. When I said my daddy grew up like that, he said, yeah, man. He said, yeah, my mama used to throw that Duke up in my hair, boy.
Oh,
hey.
Yeah, she scarred you for life.
Hey, I'm for real.
Duke is crazy. Nah, he really from the country for sure. Yeah. I think that's probably why me and Pops always got along, because I grew up in the country too.
Yeah.
Like,
my dad a pig feet down south.
Yeah.
You would have think I know that down here is where my daddy belongs.
That boy, if he would have been, facts.
I know my dad's family, probably miss him all the time, but I'd be like, this really where he belongs.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, somebody like him, I always tell myself, I wish my daddy got to grow up down here.
In the South, he would have excelled for sure. For sure, yeah.
He's a man of a trade.
Mm-hmm.
That's not appreciated.
Up north, no.
It's not appreciated. Your value is based off of your education.
Yeah.
If you have a degree.
Shit on paper, yeah.
But like in the South, my dad literally was pouring concrete slabs, digging out trenches. I'm talking about did the septic system in my house. He built the garage. He built an addition on the house for my mom because my mom wanted a bigger room. Him and my uncles got a bobcat, dug out the yard, put a pool in the yard, a full pool, everything like from top to bottom. Yeah,
man, that's what we need.
He put up the fence around the house, like
that's what we need, bro.
He built the deck, the deck and the underneath, like he would have done well down here.
Nah, he would have been more than well down here, bro.
So
he linked up with a few of my people who would have been millionaires. Shit.
I always feel like I'd be glad he's down here though.
Yeah.
This is where he's supposed to be, in my opinion. Some folks may disagree, but just.
Well, I mean, honestly, bro, if we being real, and man, most people don't know this, but that's another form of leadership. Like, I got to experience how you led your family to moving down here with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people understand. Say you move, like I've been to Thailand. That's like me going back to Thailand. I set my roots up there. And then I call my people and I say, hey, y'all come on over here. And then I make sure I get all the moving details. I find the house, help them with cars. Like, I think when I saw that and I realized, like, man, all right, he did some shit to show his family that this is the move. Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this, right? Like, my dad is, I don't never like little dog my dad.
Oh, yeah, nah, right? Yeah, for sure.
I may be more vocal than him as like a grown up now.
And he'll let you talk that shit too.
But listen, bro.
He's
if my dad tell me something,
for sure you listening.
I ain't finna say too much.
Yeah, he don't got to say too much.
And he don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: he ain't even gonna have to say too much because my respect for him gon' stop me from saying.
For sure.
Even if I don't agree with what he's saying and I'm grown now, I'll just be like, all right, Pop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I'll
yeah.
talk to you later, or I ain't never carried him that way.
I ain't never seen you disrespect him.
Nah.
I mean, I ain't never seen you disrespect none of your people, so.
Nah, you're not gonna see me talk to my dad like that, bro, just because, like, when I tell you, like, I be grateful for my experience with him, like, now that I get to see the effects that other people don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you see how far away you're separate, like, how far he put me ahead.
Compared to you and other men that didn't have a father, bro. Yeah, bro.
I'm light years ahead, bro.
You are, bro. I remember saying that when I first met you, bro. I was like, and it wasn't even about you having money or cars or shit like that. It was your mindset. Yeah. I was like, damn, niggas. I was like, bro, niggas is not. I literally told one of my bros. They asked me. They was like, bro, why are you friends with Darnell? And I looked at him for a couple seconds because back then niggas didn't like you like that. And I said, I just looked at him with a straight face. I said, bro, I haven't found nobody else that think like him. I said, y'all don't like his delivery. I said, but y'all still think the same. And I said, and I see you ain't have no dad. Okay.
It ain't even that, bro. Like, they'll really get around me, bro.
Nah.
They'll realize I'm one of the most genuine folks.
But most of those guys that said that didn't have dads. Yeah. That's why I said, like, I've been that only guy.
That's because the streets raised me.
For sure.
I don't know how to appreciate how I talk to them.
But the streets raised me too, though.
But you know what I'm saying? But you know what it is, though? A dad's gonna talk to you like a street is, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta think. If you got a real dad that's really active in your life, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, he gonna be on you.
Yeah.
Not Leo.
Yeah, my guy in the back.
Well, shit, you about ready to wrap this thing up? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man.
Gave him a good talk anyway.
For sure.
Hey, bro. Let's go ahead and wrap it up now. That's crazy. That boy held that mic for an hour. I know my boy finna have a pump.
This baby ass Mike. Come on, man.
Yeah. Alrighty, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, this your boy 365 years. We out of here, man.
All right, now. It's your boy Humble Hampton. We're gonna tune in with y'all next week. All right.
Peace.